var den stormy one for the Lord. But she was a discount, but she was the stormy one for the Lord. But she was a discount, but was a strong woman for the Lord. But she was discovered that
Welcome to the 5th annual New York City songSLAM and the first virtual songSLAM festival. My name is Erica Switzer, and I'm co-founder of Sparks and Wiry Cries, along with Martha Guth. We are so happy to welcome you here tonight and to celebrate the incredible 14 teams of the songSLAM competition and to witness the premieres of 2 bold and powerful new works by poets Jessica Care Moore and ADALBER Salas Hernández, and composers Andrew Stanneland and Reynaldo Moya. None of us could have predicted the twists, turns, and tragedies of the last 10 months, as we at Sparks pivoted hard to reimagine events that have always been about the coming together of community. For a virtual space, we were struck over and over again at the connecting power of music. No matter the distances involved or the obstacles to overcome, all of our efforts have done nothing but bring us together. The songs we've shared over the past 12 days and those that you will hear tonight all engage in this moment and give voice to the stories that define who we are as individuals and as a community. We feel fortunate to have found a path forward, and that has been in no small way due to the help of many skilled and supportive teammates.
My name is Martha Guth, and I am here to welcome you all as well, and also say a number of thank yous. First and foremost to the gentleman who is here with us this evening, and that is Tom Ciapullo. But before I introduce him, I want to say thank you to a number of people who have made this entire event, this project, this year possible for us. The very first one and most important, I think, is the Sorel organization, who have graciously supported Sparks for years, and that's under their mission of supporting women in classical music. We're really grateful to the Blue Building, where we recorded most of our work for this event, and that's Michael Dupler, and then also Monica Dewey and the wonderful Cynthia Steinman, who recorded all of the songSLAM entries. We are grateful to the Casement Fund. We are grateful to our beloved board members who keep supporting us and showing up time after time. And we are grateful to all of the performers and creators who have come together to create such invigorating, wonderful, beautiful music. Our technical team, Matthew Principe and Neville Braithwaite, whose artistic vision we just could not do without. Our administrative staff, our beloved administrative staff, are artists themselves. They are all art song performers, passionate about their work, and they are Lucy Fitzgibbon, Victoria Browers, Jardana Gertler-Jaffe, and then Ryan McCullough, who's producing this event tonight. And then finally, everybody who donated. We have had almost 500 donations for the songSLAM, which is, of course, a record. And we are so grateful to all of you who showed up for this event. Finally, I want to welcome Tom Ciapullo, who's been waiting patiently here for us. Tom has been here right from the beginning for the songSLAM. He was the MC for the first and has continued in New York City for every songSLAM since. And that's because he's just so wonderful at the job, and because he is the epitome of American song composers. I don't know a singer or a pianist around in this country who does not find Tom himself lovable and his music even more beloved. So Tom, with that introduction, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you, Martha. It's a real pleasure to be here. And I'm sort of overcome. I'm speechless by your introduction. But I will say I was there at the beginning in that before you had the songSLAM, I was very fortunate. You and Erica took the legendary Paul Sperry and I to breakfast, and we discussed your vision for Sparks and Wiry Cries and the songSLAM. And I, at that time, I didn't even know what a songSLAM was. Did anyone? But I just sort of nodded my head because I was eating breakfast and I was very happy. And I had no idea what this event would turn into because, and Paul Sperry and I co-hosted that event. We had a wonderful time doing it. At that first event back in, I believe it was 2017, I thought, well, there's no one curating this in the sense that no one is choosing people. It's completely democratic. All that matters is you get your thing in on time, no one's choosing. I thought, are they gonna have good pieces to do this? And then I thought, what if they're all slow? What if you get 10 slow songs? It's not gonna work. And I thought, what if some of the performances are terrible? Well, lo and behold, we get there with this nice crowd, and there are 10 really interesting songs in different styles, in different moods, at different tempi, and all the performances were wonderful. And what does that mean? It means that we have such a wealth of talent that isn't being seen enough, that needs to get out and is enthusiastic and wonderful. But I could not have envisioned that when this program started in 2017 at the Here Theater, where I believe you had to even rent your own piano when you did that event, that then would go to the Domenis Center and sell out the basement of the Domenis Center there, have hundreds of people. And as you looked around, there was this wonderful community, this community of singers and composers and pianists who were dying to see each other as well as dying to hear 10 or 12 or 14 new songs. So for me, it's one of the most thrilling events of the year. I've been honored to be an MC, and I think I'm chosen not for anything special about me, but for the fact that I'm short-winded and I don't go on too long. So with that in mind, I'll stop right there, except to say I'm very honored to be here.
Well, we're honored to have you. And actually, I'm going to invite you to speak again because we would love it if you would announce our 3 prize winners. This is the cash prize winners of the event. So all of the people who donated and voted, these are the prize winners, and we'd love it if you would do the honors. The first place wins $1,000, second $600, and third place $400.
Thank you. Well, it's my great honor to announce the winners. But I have to say, I heard the 14 songs, and I thought they were all very skillfully done, and all really, really wonderful. And they all have a place. They all have a place in being performed. So the third place winner for $400 is Team 13, San Titulo, by Alexa Babakanian, composer, pianist, and my dear old friend, Anatona mezzo-soprano.
Yay! Woohoo!
Yeah, woo!
The second place team for $600 is Team 12 and their piece Isolation. Michael Lewis was the composer pianist and Cody Ray Cahill the baritone.
Woo!
Yay. And the first place winner, $1,000, goes to Team 11 for Greenport, Long Island, a socially distanced diva. Evan Fine, composer, poet, pianist, and April Martin, soprano. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of the teams. It really, the level was unbelievably high this year. We were so proud and pleased to have everybody there. And actually, because of this extraordinary year, we decided that we needed to add more prizes, more opportunities. And so this next prize that we're going to announce is actually one that we dreamed up with Tom in mind. And that's the prize of mentorship with Tom. And that's for the composer of the team that accrued the most unique votes. And so that composer is also Team 11, that is Evan Fine. So congratulations. Tom, if you want to say just a little bit about what that might entail.
Well, you know, when Martha and Erica approached me to do this, I was a little verklempt, as the thing goes, because there are so many accomplished composers who enter this competition. And Evan Fine, I don't know if we've met, but I've seen his name forever, and I have tremendous respect for him. So mentorship is perhaps a strong word, but what I would like to do, and you know, Evan certainly doesn't have to listen to anything I say, is I would like to be an extra pair of eyes if he would like it, as from colleague to colleague, to if I can think of opportunities for his works to be performed, if I can think of performers who seem especially right for pieces he's written, if I know anyone, if our circles have not overlapped too much, and there's someone that I know that I can we can talk about and he can meet, I would love to do that. I admire Evan and his work, I know it. And just to offer to be on his side. I just want to be on his side and be an advocate, to keep my eyes open for him and to look for things that will work for him and just be in touch from colleague to colleague. You know, I was thinking about success, and I thought, me as a mentor, what do I know about success, you know? But then I thought, what does success mean in our field now? Because none of us are going to get rich and none of us are going to be famous. It means somehow to create work you're proud of, in this tremendously rich community, to share it and to feel your own worth. That's what it means, to feel it inside you, because we create our own success that way. No one can give it to us, only we can. So I look forward to being around my new friend, Evan, if he'd like it, whenever he'd like it. Congratulations, Evan.
Congratulations to everyone.
Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations to everyone. Thank you, Tom. I'd like to invite LaToya Lane to join us now too. And as soon as she appears, there she is. The incredible LaToya Lane. Hi, LaToya, thank you for being here.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
There she is. In just a moment, you're going to hear LaToya and I together. We are going to be, I'm getting a little bit of an echo. We're going to be performing Andrew Stanlin and Jessica Care-Moore's Ramadan 20 verses COVID-19. And this was, for me, a totally new experience. LaToya and I never rehearsed. And he said, kids, don't try this at home. It was an isolation issue. We're in different parts of the country, and we just decided to trust the words, trust the music, trust each other, and dive in. And you're about to see the results, but I would love to hear, actually, LaToya, I've never asked, what was the process like for you, and what was it like bringing Jessica's words to life?
It was a really interesting process, especially because it was in, solitude. And so, as singers, we're so accustomed to rehearsing with and collaborating with the pianist, even down to the inhalations. And so I found myself listening to your recording, trying to hear you breathe to see if that, would give me some indication. And it did. I could actually feel your pulse and your inhalations and your phrasings. And the more I listened to it, the more I felt like we were in the room together. I went back and looked at this text after January 6th, and I kept thinking about the sirens, the gunshots, and the lies over and over and over. And it's literally what we experienced watching the news and, you know, all day long, every single day. And I kind of wish we had recorded this after that. But I also remember that had we done it that way, I may have gone over that emotional line too far. And so, you know, and then affect your voice and all that kind of stuff. But Jessica's poetry, it was almost like this collage of different experiences, and especially when she started talking about her friends that are pregnant. You know, I had a pandemic pregnancy and delivery, so a lot of her her text just felt personal, and we had never even met other than, you know, our Zoom meetings, and it just felt like we were just, you know, doing this between you and she and Mac. It was just, you know, so I mean, it was a scary experience because I had never done anything like that, especially having the recording in my ear. And, you know, I had to remember, okay, I'm actually video recording too, because I was, you know, it was just a lot happening by myself. But it was a great experience.
For me too. And it's funny, I didn't have you in my ear, but I had you in my inner ear. Does that make sense? I was imagining your words. I was imagining where you would need to breathe or where you would want to breathe, how you would want to breathe, and trying to build that. So it's incredible, the distances that we can travel with music to find each other.
This has created a whole new medium of, you know, music making for singers and pianists. So we can be anywhere in the world, Erica, and still do a recital.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, I hope we get to do this in person together sometime too. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I'm really thrilled to introduce this video produced by Matthew Principe with the assistance of Neville Braithwaite. And this is LaToya Lane, myself at the piano, Jessica Caramore's language, poetry, and Andrew Stanlin's music, Ramadan 20 versus COVID-19.
Gunshots lies. Gunshots lies. Sirens, the gunshots, the lies. No distance between fates anymore. Pick a book, any holy book. We all die. Legs spread open, mothers pushing out the next tomorrow. It does not matter how we die, or at what speed, fasting or slowly. April 23rd, 2020. There are millions of reasons to fast. 3 of my girlfriends are expecting. Oh, Jesus, children. Wearing rosaries around their necks. Praying death will leave the salt city. News repeats itself, therefore is no longer news. No longer news. No And all the oxygen from the Amazon is bottled and taxed like new shoes. The magnolia tree will still blossom the same time every year in the backyard. All those thick parasol roots laughing at our fragile bones. How we climb, how we dream, how we climb, how we dream, to be so bold as
Ramadan 20 versus COVID-19. The call to prayer is louder than the death toll. On the first day of Ramadan, April 23rd, 2020, there are millions of reasons to fast. 3 of my girlfriends are expecting. The Jesus children wearing rosaries round their necks, praying death will leave Salt City. News repeats itself, therefore is no longer news. We are not people of color in Detroit. We are black, up south people. We are not for sale or consumption. We right across the street from Lebanon. We tout the biggest masjid in the country. We have always removed shoes before entering our sacred homes. Wujud our bodies clean beyond 20 seconds. Detroit hijab rap cover beauties, watching them all rocking burqas now. The projects remain the cleanest kitchens. Smells of Clorox bleach and metal ironing boards creased into our daily routines. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Sunday best, Friday is Juma. We are praying to any ancestor still listening. The food that fed us will kill us in the new world. They are trying to kill the vegetarians, Dick Gregory whispered in King's ear when he was 8. Tell your mother. Smiles taste like tears. Songbirds begin at 4 a.m. My friend has lost her mother, grandmother, and aunt. My best friend, her sister, Maria. I am dusting off the dust of my red prayer mat. Listening to John McReynolds and Kurt Franklin, I need everyone, even Black Jesus, to help us get through all of this. Yes, race still matters. Mashallah, mashallah. The call to prayer is louder than the death toll. The call to prayer is louder than the death toll. The call to prayer never silenced. We never die anyway. Abiodun Oyewole reminded us. We return, we move on, we become. Psalms 23 won't finish the day. The clocks are flying across the room. Which day is it? Whatever day you feel is necessary for right now. Pick one. Which day do you feel the most beautiful? When he sends me music, I fall in love with writing. When I write, I hear music. What else to do with this time except tell somebody it happened? We were alive when the world stood still. Music never pauses. Mahogany, Ryan, and Randy are all pregnant during a pandemic. These Brazilian babies won't stop for outbreaks. Wait for it to end. Life continues. Even when we decide it is over, when humanity is finally white flagged and all the oxygen from the Amazon is bottled and taxed like new shoes, the magnolia tree will still blossom the same time every year in the backyard. All those thick colossal roots laughing at our fragile bones, how we climb, how we dream to be as bold as you, how our arms shadow your branches, how we wish to be songbirds worthy of your protection. The playing field is not playing, nature is calling, science is searching, spirit has this all figured out. And it's not from any of those books made from dead trees. Faith is not a word, it's knowing. Belief that there is something absolutely beyond this place. Something that will heal the wounds inflicted on a continent. Sami Allahu liman hamida, Sami Allahu liman hamida, Sami Allahu liman hamida, Sami Allahu liman hamida, Sami Allahu liman hamida. Praying 5 times a day, praying 5 times a day may not be enough to purge the sins against the womb of the earth, against the hungry bellies of the chosen people. The unshackled reality of hope will not eat away the truth, balancing itself between dusk and dawn. Fasting may be the only way to clear out the noise, the sirens, the gunshots, the lies. No distance between faiths anymore. Pick a book, any holy book. We all die in the same position, legs spread open, mothers pushing out the next tomorrow. It doesn't matter how we die or at what speed, fasting or slowly. It only matters what we are willing to die for. Let it be for the first cry. Let it be so the world is made anew. Let it be so the world is made anew. Let it be so the world is made anew. Let it be so the world is made anew. Let it be so the world is made anew. Let it be so the world is made anew. Let it be so the world is made anew. Let it be so the world is made. Let it be so the world is made. Let it be so the world is made anew.
I am grateful for Andrew's astounding sound worlds. I remain absolutely floored by Jessica Caramore's words, in which I feel like I discover something new every time I hear that last movement. And I'm grateful for these 2 artists who were breathing life into this new music. Thank you all so much for your message of healing and hope through difficult times.
Thank you, Martha. And also thank you again to LaToya, to Jessica, to Andrew. To be a part of this journey with you has been deeply meaningful to me. So, thank you. I would like to welcome Reynaldo Moya to the Zoom room. Thank you for being here, Reynaldo. I often think about being in a friend's kitchen, in Sean's kitchen, many years ago, when you and your beautiful wife were having some really great conversations. And I feel like I witnessed this really important moment in your life. And so I feel like every time I get to spend a little bit of time with you, it takes me right back to that.
Yeah, I think I remember the exact party, the exact gathering. It was, I think, a Christmas time event or something. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It was a good night.
Yeah.
So in a moment, Reynaldo will introduce his Ciudad Perdida. But first, I'd like to tell you about a great conversation that I had with Reynaldo, with Martha, Stephanie Blythe, and with Eric Owens earlier this week. We were fortunate to gather after listening to the 14 songSLAM entries and to compare and share our notes of appreciation for each and every team. It was astonishing how spread the reactions were. We had strong responses as individuals to very different songs for very different reasons. And the conversation was lively, and I wish I had time to share all of the notes, but I just want to communicate to everyone who has participated how profoundly moved we were by everything that we heard. But we did come to consensus, and so I am very, very happy to announce that Rachel DeVore Fogarty will be commissioned to write for our 2022 songSLAM Festival. Congratulations, Rachel. We can't wait to hear more from you. So, Reynaldo, would you tell us what it was like creating Ciudad Perdida and what inspired you?
Well, I think the first inspiration was working with Maria Fernanda, whom I still haven't met in person. This is another feature of making music in the era of COVID. But somehow this is the second work of mine in the recent memory that I've written for Venezuelan musicians, and to me it seems to bring out a certain aspect of my work. It connects me to a shared experience that Venezuelans have, especially those of us who have moved outside of the country, because we have this intense nostalgia. We saw our country be what it was. We grew up in a place that really we don't have access to anymore in the same way. Our country has been taken away from us, and I felt this pain when my son was born 2 years ago, where there was something about that moment of new life, and that reconnected me with my family and with my blood and who I am and my identity. And I felt this intense desire to share my childhood, who I am, where I grew up with my son, and then I had this painful realization that I wasn't going to be able to take him and share this life with him, and in the same way I could take him, but he'd get shot. It's a very very different place to be now. And so I wrote a piece kind of about that last year, and then this opportunity to work with Maria Fernanda came up, and I something took me back there. I came across ADALBER's wonderful poetry a little bit randomly. I think I was searching online for Venezuelan poets, and I came across him. I Twitter stalked him until he replied to me, and then we started a dialogue that way. And when I was looking through the poetry, I didn't really have a specific thing in mind as to what I wanted to do. I think the poems of his that really spoke to me were the poems about the place, about Caracas, and because he seems to have this very clear vision about that place, that to me reading his poems was like being back, right, in the best way in which art and music can transport you to a different place. And so the cycle kind of ended up being based around these two long poems, much longer than what you usually do for a cycle, and that was challenging to do. But these two poems that kind of talk not only about the city being washed away by the rain, and the rain, I saw it as a metaphor for cleansing, but also not really a metaphor for cleansing. Really, it's a metaphor for things being washed away, the identity and the life being washed away. And then the second song is really about the experience of migrants traveling and getting to a point of a checkpoint at the airport, and you have all of these questions that are asked of you that are incredibly personal, that are incredibly upsetting, and you have to pretend that it's all fine. And so I set this, the second part of the cycle starts with this very kind of ironic and almost like hold music that I think it's my favorite tempo titling I've ever written. It says like the hold music in the waiting room to hell, and in the middle of that are the narrator of this poem starts having these reveries and these revelations about what it means to be a migrant, to be away from your home, to carry your home in your pocket. I mean, that was the line that really just killed me. You fold your country like a piece of paper and you carry it with you. I think that was the line that really just broke me, and I wanted to do that justice. So I think I'm talking too much already. So I think maybe we'll let the music go. But it was, to me, it was a wonderful experience to connect with an amazing Venezuelan artist, an amazing Venezuelan um, poet, and then to have the space for us to do this at Sparks and Wiry Cries has been an absolute delight and an honor, and to be joined by Howard Watkins at the piano, who is just such a wonderfully amazing artist. So I'm just so thankful to have the opportunity to show you all just a little bit of a window into what it means to be a Venezuelan in the 21st century, especially those of us who are away from home.
Thank you for that window, Reynaldo. I think I'll let the music speak for itself, the poetry speak for itself, in the most capable voice of Maria Brea and hands of Howard Watkins. This is Ciudad Perdida. Thank you to everyone who is listening. Thank you to everyone who is creating. And thank you to everyone who has voted and donated and been a part of our community.
Christmas, they pass.